Welcome back. We're back, baby. So, yes, another great film club Saturday night after a little bit of holiday for myself, and we took a week off. But I've missed film club. Have you missed film club, you two?
Feels longer. Yes, I have missed film club.
Likewise.
It was weird not to have a week when I was like, I need to kind of talk to somebody about movies.
I used to do adult
Like,
things.
come on.
Yeah, I was stuck with kid things all week, as I'm sure you were.
Yeah, we went to Peppa Pig Land, so that was fun. There we go. So that was one moment.
Sounds like the next film club special is already picked.
Oh my, what film? If they
Bugs Life is
Peppa
next
Pig.
week.
Yeah,
we're headed down the.
There we go. Yeah, I'm going to try and
route.
sit him, the kid, down to watch that. So to see
good.
if he things, but yeah, it's been good, been hot and sweaty, and then it went terrible weather in the UK, so that was nice. But yeah, it was good to get away, back to the grind, as they say it. So we're off with a satire with my pick, and I thought it was Sandy's, but it was.
No.
You would have put it on, would you, Sandy?
No, I would not have.
Okay, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Yeah, I'm glad they put Dr. Strangelove as an option there. Much easier.
But this is our first Stanley Kubrick, isn't it? I think we had a discussion last time. We've got a couple on there, and this is the
It
first.
is. It's our first Kubrick. I discussed Full Metal Jacket when we did our war films special because that's my favorite Vietnam era film and my favorite Stanley Kubrick. But there should be quite a few on the list.
Yes. And this is our first, and I think our only. I don't think we got the Pink Panther, our own Peter Sellers. Our only one of Peter Sellers.
We should have the Pink Panther on the list. If it's not on the list, it's going on the list.
I can't remember. I don't remember I put it on this, but that's it. And then we were saying who's in behind the scenes, who's in other movies that we've seen, who stars in this. So like the most obvious would be James L. Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's in that, but then you've got Sterling Hayden. He was Godfather. He's the crooked cop. And then you said there's a Goonies.
There is so Keenan Wyan is the Sergeant Bat Guano, the sergeant that comes in at the end. He's actually, now I can't remember where this was, but Chester Copperpot, I think one of the old people in one of the old, if it was the old people in the shack before the bad guys came in or whatever, but he's Chester Copperpot in Goonies. So we'll have to check him out and see how we see him in Goonies. But when I saw him, the reason I looked him up was because when I saw him come in, I was like, I know this guy. Well, when I looked him up on IMDb, he has been in every 1980s and 90s sitcom ever. From his earliest appearances in Beretta, The Fall Guy, all those 80s sitcoms, The Love Boat. This guy was in everything. And he only has a few film credits, Dr. Strangelove, a few others, and The Goonies. So he's in The Goonies.
And Jules C. Scott, he's always everywhere, isn't he? I don't think we've seen one of him.
Not yet, but Patton is on our list for sure. I love George C. Scott. I do.
I know when you see him, he's like, oh, he's good. He's like that. So, but so I'm guessing, like, I'm gonna have to explain this movie because it is a satire. It's a satire. 1960, was it 64? Is it
1964? Originally slated to be released in 1963. literally the day that JFK was assassinated. So its release was delayed.
Now, Sandy, you've seen this before, guaranteed.
I have.
Yes.
I have.
And Jay, we discussed you never seen this before.
No, this was the first time.
And I bet you was like, what has he made me watch?
No, not honestly.
Not. I mean, like, not bad, but I'm like, this is different.
I wasn't really aware of this movie, to be totally honest with you. And what I have seen from Stanley Kubrick has been very different, at least. Like The Shining is the one that jumps out the most. I've seen 2001, but I'll be honest, shame on my high school science teacher who made us watch that as high schoolers, because it was not a movie any high schooler was going to enjoy. And I did not enjoy it when we watched 2001 Space Odyssey. So I've avoided it all these years and avoided ever going back to it because it was such like a bad experience for me of like, what is this movie? I don't want to watch this.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
And it is. And I'm actually excited to rewatch it and give it another chance as an adult because, you know, I get it. She was trying to show us something that everybody finds to be profound and all that. But I just feel like me and my class at that time, we were all like, what the hell are we watching? What is this? Like, not interested. And it kind of gave me an aversion to it all this time. So outside of those two, I really haven't seen much of Kubrick. And this one seemed very different from those. So it was interesting to watch.
He certainly has a style. There's a you know, from The Shining to 2001 to this, even some bits in Full Metal Jacket, there are these, you know, kind of Kubrick-esque shots, you know, these cinematic like scapes that he does. And they work in some places, and in other places they're a little bit annoying. So we'll kind of talk about that.
Yeah, so this is a movie about let's say the stupidity of everybody having nuclear weapons, but who actually would press the button.
The Cold War. I mean, essentially,
the Cold War.
It's this is the mania of mistrust. You know, you got to hit the button before the other guys hit the button. And the escalation of the arms race was deterrence. You know, okay, I have more bombs than you. It only takes one. So what's the point? And this is based on a book, by the way, called Red Alert. I did not read the book. This is the first time I didn't read the book because instead I wanted to dig back into Cold War. I wanted to dig back into Cold War history. So along the way, we are going to talk about history for this film.
That's good. But I must say, I do like how whoever the editor was to play certain music throughout this, and I completely forgot the music score like that because they're iconic songs, I suppose, like that. And it's just like some of them, like it's just like great timing. It's like, you know, it's a good editing on the part of the whoever's like, let's put this song in here, but it makes it a little bit, it makes it light-hearted where the actual where of course the subject matter is a bit stupid, but makes it kind of, I get what you're doing by having the satire about it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I didn't notice the music too much. At least I didn't think until now you say that. I'm thinking of their rendition of like the Saints go marching in, and when they fly that, I'm like, yeah, that's actually a really good point. I didn't notice that while watching, but I can think of it just looking back on it now.
But yeah, so in the movie we start off with kind of a warning that the Russians are, there's been intelligence of a doomsday, but it's out in the middle of nowhere, and why they're making it, nobody knows. And then of course we get our first cheery little tune of like a, you know, the B-52s. Is that, I'm not sure if that is actually a B-50. I'm guessing it is because that's what they say. I'm guessing. My aircraft knowledge at that time isn't that great, to be honest. But they just like this.
Among the three of us, having been a graduate of the Royal Air Force, dude, you should know more than we do, right?
Not a British plane.
Oh, so you only care. So it does look like the B-52.
It does. Yeah.
And I pulled it up. You know, I hate to say it. So it looks like a commercial airliner, but with the wings are longer and there's more engines. It's bigger. It's huge. It's the B-52. B for Boeing 52. Stratofortress. It's the Stratofortress.
But yeah, so they're just showing it. Yeah, it getting tanked. So that's the That's it. And then we get straight in to a nice little bunker, I'm guessing, with our first rendition of Peter Sellers as Group Captain Lionel was it
Mandrake.
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 Of like a very, I love this because he's the like, if somebody was like, give me Royal Air Force and then give me a general, I like how the first two we get, he's got the mustache, what you expect, you know, oh, hello, chaps, what, tally ho, and away. Like a Royal Air Force, literally great group captain. And then, of course, they go, well, we need an American general. And
A
of course,
grunt.
we've got to have one with a cigar. It's like that.
Yep.
And I like how they just went, yeah, sod it, we're going to make that. So, of course, in this, and it's I like it because it's a great little. It's an easy setup. It's like, do you know who you're talking to? Do you recognize my voice? Well, we just got off the phone, like that. So it's great. And then he kind of tells him that it's an easy. Again, the setup is we're in a shooting war, and I've got to put the base on red alert. And that's it, because yeah, we're against the Russians, and it's oh dear, oh no, what is gonna happen, kind of thing. And everybody, and I like it because nobody, like, they don't panic. It's like, oh well, that's a shame. Like, kind of like, it's like,
How dreadful.
so yeah, it's like, God, what that's a pickle. Isn't it? So yeah, so yeah, and of course
Don't
we
go
get,
off that photo yet. Go back to that
okay.
photo.
Whoop.
All right, 1 to 10. What's your Tash rating?
It's not got a curl, so I'm going to give it a good 7.
Okay.
I'll give it an 8 because even in black and white, it still conveys that it's a really thick mustache. So I'll go a solid
It's a good
8
thick one, but he hasn't got the RAF curl. They like give us
Oh,
a
is
thing,
that what it's
and then
missing? Is
they
that his
getting
signature
the whack,
style? Gotcha.
getting the Brill Keem, and having a little quick curl, and it's like that. So yeah, I remember when in the RAF, a couple of guys I knew just was like, because you only at that time they can grow beards now, but you only could grow a mustache. And it was, they all got told off because they were like, who could get the biggest curl? Like that. And it got to a point, and then the one of the commanding officers went, that's enough, guys. That's, yeah, just you got to get rid of the soup catcher. But yeah, but it's yeah, I like this. It's a simple little setup. You know what's going to happen, and but it's just the through this movie, I think it's the dialogue between each person, and a lot of it, if you notice, is on the phones. So they're actually just acting,
Yeah,
of
there's a
course, to
lot of
nothing.
phones.
Yeah. So yeah, I like this, but it's just like the madness, of course, you're getting through straight away of the general. Well, what's his name? With Ripper. That's it.
He's Ripper.
Who is the base commander of I can't remember what base it is, but yeah, he's things like. But I do like, and like Kim was saying, it is. I put it in the background there. Peace is our profession, and then you go to the next one when he has to go and verify they are in their supplement. Peace is our profession, and I like, you see that through like there. Yes, we've got the nukes, but peace is our profession. And he was like these slight things like you know that Kubrick must have gone, we've got to actually take the piss, because there are, you know, world ending moment, but we'll keep on telling that it's for peace. We've got these due to peace, because if we didn't have them, they would. And that's what this whole like kind of movie is about. Is like, well, without them, they would have it. And like, yeah, so it's good that
It's the
in the background.
absurdity of,
Yeah.
you know, and for being made in 1962, 1963-ish, when it was actually made, being, you know, kind of in a different place in the Cold War than obviously, you know, not you, Jay, but me being at the very tail end of it when the Berlin Wall fell, being in the 1960s, so close to, you know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and understanding the escalation of, you know, the Soviet state and pushing into Eastern Europe. To make a movie to try to make fun of that, I have to think like, what, you know, there's probably nothing today we would be able to do in our culture to kind of make fun of something so serious. It just wouldn't be able to happen. Maybe something like I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something that would be, kind of making fun or poking fun of culture shaped by politics at that time. So kind of groundbreaking, certainly in that way, to be able to put the finger on it and, and kind of capture what folks were probably thinking, but no one was saying. Like,
Yeah.
this is really stupid.
Mm.
This is
But
just
I
really stupid.
it's quite clever how they do that, because if you did it today, they would focus on I suppose a party, especially with when you get the president things. You can't tell
Yeah.
if they're blue or red in this, and I
No.
like that, because the political aspect doesn't really matter. It's the stupidity of the nuclear weapon.
Right. And I think that's why, like, something like this, like, obviously this is a political satire that deals with real world, things and concepts and war and all that, and like you just described, just the concept of the arms race and all that kind of stuff, and just that idea of peace through power, or however you want to put it, type of thing. It's just such an interesting concept, and it sounds so silly when you boil it down, kind of like this movie does. It makes itself easy to be made into a satire, but because it's attacking kind of that concept, not even attacking, just kind of giving a perspective on that concept of how ridiculous that is, whether it is or isn't a sad reality of the world that we live in. The fact that you poke at that concept more than any party or anything that would date a piece of political satire is what I think makes this still relevant today, versus if you see somebody do something that's like very clearly like, oh, this is about this certain president that they're making fun of, and those kind of things just feel so dated and so cheap in terms of just a kind of shot across the political parties in terms of insults and things like that, whereas this is actually kind of it's a profound look in a satirical way of how ridiculous of a concept that kind of thing really is, in terms of how you achieve peace in the world by essentially creating an arms stalemate, which, again, crazy to think, but that's a way how it's done. And this is to me the right way to do political satire. So take notes, Hollywood writers.
Yeah, right. That. But yeah, so we get on and we go back to, of course, that After the Wings, and we get Al B-52. I don't know if we get the name of the aircraft. I don't think it has a call sign. I can't remember. Maybe it does. Chat if you see it.
Can't remember.
I can't remember.
It might, because in that era they did, but but it might. But this is where you're hearing me sigh. This is a film that obviously is thoughtfully made, but every time they focus in on this plane, it distracts me from enjoying the film. These shots drive me up a tree. We'll talk about it a little more later.
1964, though, and I have to say that
I had to remind myself.
But no, there were earlier films, including some we have watched, that had better shots. I give you Sink the Bismarck. Okay, so think about that. Sink the Bismarck made 5 years earlier.
Yeah, but you got to think they probably could do that models and ships and like that miniatures. Like, it's going to be very hard to have a clear background with them moving so fast over some of the land.
I'm going to say it's the 60s, but I think we think it's older because it's black and white. I don't know. I may not bend on this point. I'll hear you out, but I may not bend on this point. But these shots drive me up a tree.
No, I also had issues with these. They just look so. And again, I will admit, 1964, right? I was going to say 67. 1964. I'll give it to you. You did what you could, but it does not hold up particularly well into 2025.
Yeah, some of the scenes you're like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's just a picture of a plane imposed on top of some footage. But I mean, they did what they could. I can let it slide, I guess.
Yeah. So we get the insight of a nuclear bomber with Major King, and of course and I know guys who've been in like the AWACS and stuff like that. It's very boring most of the time because nothing's really happening. You're up there and you can't come down. maybe not, they wouldn't take Playboy on board, but like the card tricks and all that going on. It's very, I can see that it's going to be, confined quarters. So we get that. And then, of course, we do see our first young James L. Jones.
James Earl Jones. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't recognize him at first. I'm so used to just an older James Earl Jones that I did not recognize him at first. Then I heard him speak.
He was never. Yeah, but even this, he before he passed, he still was one of those who looked like he, you're not young, you're not old, but you're like, isn't it?
Like the image of him. I think my main image of him I always think of is from the movie Sandlot, and I just feel like he's always looked like that the entirety that I've known who he was.
But we get our code come in. Wing Attack Romeo, or I think they just call it R, don't they? So yeah, they all get the position in, confirm the code until it's excuse me, what attack code? It's like that. No idiot would ever do that. Can you confirm it? Because they're like, that's that. We've never had that code, and the code is they explained slightly, but I'll explain it now. Is a code that bypasses the president's authorization, because it would mean that the Russians have done a sneak attack, or Soviets, of course, in this. The Soviets have done a sneak attack and destroyed the Pentagon and the White House. So they've taken out the top level of the American system. So that's why this order will be, talked about later. But like, so they all go, what's going on? And then, of course, it's get the cowboy hat on. And so Stetson or whatever. So I'm getting Texan, isn't he? Sounds like. I'm guessing, or supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what they.
You don't wear that hat unless you're from Texas.
Yeah, so he's changing. I like how he's got it in a lockbox. You think he's getting his pistol out or something? No, I'm going for my hat. It's like that, and he's everybody. And I like this because he got them. He does the speeches of like men, we've not been here before, but people back home, they're counting on us, and it's like we're destroyed, they're destroyed. Yeah, well done, everyone. But so we carry on. And now we get our first and only female in the whole movie. I can't remember anybody else.
In our stereotypical 60s way to have a female in a bikini just hovering for a while. Just there,
I like that they even chose to use an indoor tanning bulb just to create another opportunity for her to be indoor in a bikini for this scene.
With a lot of mirrors around, interestingly enough.
When was
those mirrors? Good grief.
When was the first James Bond movie? 60.
Why did I think late 50s for the first James Bond?
When we get to the notes, we'll find that 2 James Bond movies were released in 1964.
There you go. And I thought this looks like a Bond, she could be a Bond girl.
A Bond girl.
The one he just
it's that 60s kind of pop, look type of thing. The bikini, the sunglasses.
Same thing we saw in the Italian Job, and you got to have your women in bikinis running around in the 60s. You just do.
Yeah,
love those movies.
Fair enough.
But so she's at what's the general names? Oh, Buck, we call him.
Buck
Turgidson.
That's it. So he gets up. He's been called. Get on the call. Because Brigadier General Ripper has given the order, wing command, attack R, and nobody can contact him, and everybody's going, oh shit. Like that. So so he's being called back. He's like, oh god. So we get now another piece of our profession, where over the tannoy, the Brigadier is now doing the lockdown, and part of the rules of the lockdown is that the base will attack anybody who comes within 200 meters of it, and they might look like us. They might be in US uniform. They, it's you can't trust anyone. If you don't know them, if you don't know who they are, shoot and ask, literally shoot first, ask questions later. That's the best one. So yeah, he's given that order over the tannoy, and then of course, whilst that, all the top secret plans are all coming out of what the routes are and what targets they get in the aircraft. But at that point, our group captain has found a radio because the brigadier general has said take all the radios, but he's managed to find one. Oh, lo and behold, we've got an outside channel. So lucky enough, the people at Pentagon are doing a practice or training session. So good guy, time to call him back. Unfortunately, this is the point where he realizes he's gone a bit mad.
A bit mad.
Yeah,
Something's a bit off.
And the first sign should be anytime you're in a room with somebody and they walk to all the doors of the room and lock them while you're inside of them, you should have a good idea that something's not right.
But I do like Peter Sellers, this part of it. I think it's funny because he's playing a very just a coy British officer, I suppose. Like that. I don't want to upset that, because if you go in mindset, you would like, why wouldn't you just attack him? I know he pulls a pistol out on him, and he's like, would you pull in a gun? He calls it a gun on another officer, and he's like, well, after he gives him like, I need the attack, the 3-letter code for the recall, and he's like, nope, we're gonna sit down. The orders can't be rescinded, so we're gonna take a seat. Whilst that time, we get our now war room somewhere deep in the underbelly of the Pentagon. I'm guessing this is supposed to be set. And everybody's panicking. So we get our second Peter Sellers as president. I can't remember the president's name.
Murphy Mifflin or Muffley. It's.
Oh my God! Did he play both these roles? I didn't even notice.
Wait, he plays more.
He plays free.
Jeez, credit to the makeup people. I never picked up on it. All right, kudos to them.
Yeah, Merkin Muffley.
It's funny because now that I'm looking back, I'm like, I did see a similarity in the kind of humor, especially because in this scene I didn't pick it up at all.
You just
but once he gets to like those phone scenes with Dimitri and all that, that's when I'm like, oh yeah, this humor does feel familiar. Okay, that makes total sense.
So Peter Sellers number 2 at the moment. So he plays the president, and then of course we get why is everybody here? What is going on? And Bucks, George C. Thomas, he's great in this.
Oh yeah,
he's brilliant.
I love him. I just love the man.
He's like he plays the I'm in an authority, bumbling fool, but not a fool. If that I don't know how to explain it.
Exactly. He's not an idiot. He's just convicted. Like,
yes,
he's so anti-commie, rah-rah America that it makes it, even more of a parody. But he's being serious. So I really like his performance. Obviously, he plays the same role not the same role, but he always plays an authoritarian military person because he is, or was, God rest his soul. Yeah. But I really do like him in this role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's explaining, the reasons we've got Plan R is because you signed it off, President. I mean, I love who's going to be blamed. Well, you agree to it, so you're to blame. So it's now back to that. It's let's storm the base with the nearest army base to attack. So that's their plan: is Americans against American. That's what we got to do. And so again, it's just I and this is what's great about Buck is when it's the right thing to do. Okay, you can lose casualties, blue on blue, and then he's like, well, they're going to kick ass. You're going to get high casualties, but also, and then he goes into the scenarios. This could be beneficial it's a now we could do a sneak attack. Like we've got
Oh
the
yeah.
Russians with their pants down. So maybe like that. But the Americans right is we never attack first. So we don't do that. But he's well, let's just think about that. Like, I love that. He's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, I like how he kind of just he says the line about like, well, the sergeant and wherever just kind of threw that whole protocol out the window. So it's just that kind of Weasley way of, continuing to want to push his own little agenda. Again, that kind of, he seems like a fool, but he's not really a fool. He's just got his own motives, own plan there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we get
Now, I love actually in terms of the character. So I love George C. Scott. I don't necessarily love that character. The character of the president is quite presidential because
yeah.
the president isn't the one commanding respect, making all the decisions, having all the information. They're taking information in and then making it. This guy plays really well. He's the character has to be decisive, has to stand up to all these, frankly, bullies around the table, but he's not as self-assured. He's very actually calm. I like his demeanor. I really like this character. I think this is an interesting character, and I love the way Peter Sellers does it.
But so I like about how he does it because he could be blue or red. He's in a situation and he's being the president in a really this is shit. But I've got to and he runs it quite well. But he's you could not I could not tell you he could be a libertarian. They could make it all up, but it's like you just don't know. So
Well, in
that's
the
why
olden days they were more like that, or John
the
F.
olden
Kennedy was
days.
a Democrat. Lyndon
Ding!
Johnson was a Democrat.
Wait a minute, you mean it wasn't
FDR
always this crazy?
No. FDR was a Democrat, but who else would you want to lead us through World War II? It was who cares? They were committed to doing the right thing and leading the country, not their ideology. So I like this. I kind of miss this, in the caricature of a leader for our country at least. But I do, and I like the way he plays it. And I guess I didn't realize the range of Peter Sellers. I had only known him as silly Peter Sellers, but I like him. I like him playing this character.
So and then we go back. It's a lot of back and forth. This first bit, we get a lot of that. Is the survival kit. I love the survival kit. Now I'm going to read out what was in the survival kit because it's just silly. Now, so survival kit check. So 45 caliber automatic, 2 boxes of ammunition. 4 days emergency rations, 1 drug issue antibiotics, morphine, vitamin pills, pep pills, sleeping pills, tranquilizer pills, 1 miniature Russian phrase book and Bible, what we can see there, $100 in rupees, $100 in gold, 9 packs of chewing gum, issued by Pronalactics, 3 lipsticks, 3 pairs of nylon stockings. Shoot, fellas, that's a pretty good weekend in Vegas. For all that stuff. I love that bit because it's just like, what? It's like that's your survival kit. So it's things.
Yeah, it's a great line to close it with too.
Yeah, but as I say, like some of the lines, they're like I said that, like you have cat phrase, like the phrases and like one-liners that I'd be back or whatever. These are like good scripted paragraph of like that's funny. I like that, and you can remember some of the things. But so then we go back, and now we get the Russian ambassador turns up, who, he only smokes Cuban. Because of it's again it's how they portray the Russian in this is what people in James Bond would portray the Russian, so it is quite funny, like stirred up.
And how they would do this. This is only 4 years after the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, so to make a point of asking for Havana cigar. No, you're not going to get a Havana cigar here in the United States. Whatever your name is, Boris. I don't remember this ambassador's name. He's not Dmitry because
Alexei.
Yeah,
Alexei.
Of course he is. But there you go. Stereotypical, old Russian. You know, this is the dude who's bought into the Soviet state for sure.
Yeah, but he gets brought into, of course, the war room. But wait, he'll see the big bald. I love that. You sure? He'll see the big bald. I love that. I love it. But then even more when he comes in, they have a little back and forth, and of course he's taking pictures on was it through a matchbox? And what do you never do?
Fight in the
You
war
don't
room.
fight in the war room. It's the war
Yeah.
room.
Gentlemen, you do not fight in the war room. This is the war room. Yeah, oh, it's brilliant. It's just like, yeah, it's funny because you like it's called the war room. It's just like, yeah, I get it. It's funny. Yeah, and they have a little back and forth that, yeah, you've taken me into your secret place. Of course, I'm going to take photos. It's great. So it's a bit of, again, it's satire comedy, so it's not supposed to make you like overly giggle, I suppose, like that, but it makes you go a little bit because yeah, it's a serious situation, and then just the lines that come out, and of course the president is trying to be, no, I've got to keep firm of what we're doing here, even though the situation is out of his control. So it's good. But whilst that happening, of course, we get now the other army base are about to attack, and the station has now opened up. So now they're in battle to take to the base, whilst of course the group captain is with the madman. Like,
Still rather calm. Still
yeah,
so
he's
typically Britishly calm.
yes. And then again, it's just the let's talk about. Have you ever seen a commie drink water? And it's like that, or was it what he called it? Not fluoride, is it?
Fluoridation.
Yeah, the
The fluoridation of the
and
water.
that was a real conspiracy theory here in the United States. So some cities in the United States, and I don't know if you even have it in Europe. So in the 1930s and 40s, when folks decided that fluoride was good for your teeth to keep your teeth from rotting, a tiny bit of it was put into the water system, and to dramatic effect. You know, teeth in the United States are really healthy, and we don't have, you know, some of the issues that our European friends have. But
You
some
want about British
cities,
teeth, aren't you? Want about
Yeah,
British
we
teeth,
weren't
I,
gonna call it out thing, but
hey, I
I
got
wasn't
good
going to
teeth.
say British, but some
I've heard with the
cities,
dentist.
some cities in the United States run by whatever political party decided, no, that's a conspiracy, that we don't want fluoride in the water. It must be bad. The government's trying to poison us. So some cities decided not to fluorinate their water. And you can tell which cities have kids with bad teeth growing up versus the ones that had good teeth growing up. I think now almost all water systems are fluorinated here in the United States. But yeah, that was a true thing. That was a whole conspiracy theory. The government's trying to poison you with the fluoride in the water.
Was it also
if they
take the
thought
piss
it
out
was
of
the
their teeth?
water, they should have seen the food we're eating now.
But was it like the Russians had bad teeth? Was it like their dental hygiene
I,
was bad? I don't know.
I
Or
don't know.
whatever.
We tend to think the whole rest of the world has bad teeth except
Yeah,
for us.
yeah,
We do
it,
have
it
good
can
teeth.
definitely be kind of a stereotype here.
Yeah.
But they drink vodka. That's what that's. Yeah,
We do. Cheers. I got mine right here.
just a pint of vodka. Sandy.
Actually, I'm doing the Polish. I have my Belvedere today, so I'm doing
Oh,
my
nice,
Polish
nice.
Russian side today with my Belvedere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it mixed or straight?
I have a little bit of tonic water and lime.
Okay.
So yep.
There you go.
Cool. So yeah, he's losing it, and he's like, I do like the group again. The group talk. Oh, okay, Buck, it's okay. Like, oh. So, but yeah, we get back, and now we're they're trying to contact the president. I don't know. Would it be president at that time? Would it? What would the Soviet president be called?
Premier? Would he be a
Premier?
premier?
Yeah, premier.
Or
Yeah.
minister, premier.
Yeah. So it's he's try this number because of course he's got manly things. So he's with a lady friend, I'm guessing, at a little party. And again, it's great. It's this Peter Sellers of being on the telephone of course, we believe he's talking to Dimitri. And it's just that, of course, he's like, I think he's a little bit drunk. And it's just like, turn down the music. Yes, that's good. I can hear you now. And it's just like, there's a long, like, the dialogue between him and the premiere is quite long.
I'm sorry,
periods.
Dimitri. No,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. I know you're sorry. No, I'm not as sorry as you are. No, you may be as sorry as I. That was just great.
Yeah.
That was great.
It is brilliant. And like, like when, of course, when you like, you get immersed. I like it because you get immersed into the conversation. And I think that's what's good about this movie, because it's not like, oh, they're just having a chat. You get immersed into like, you want to, the conversation needs to move on to the important stuff, but they're not. Half the time they're well, you only call me when you want me. You never just pick up the phone. He's just like, well, I do like talking to
we
you.
are friends.
Yeah, we are friends, like that. And it's just silly.
I always say, like, when you have a movie where somebody acts and they're mostly acting alone, it can really show off how good of an actor they are, you know, in terms of how they get emotional impact across and all that, when it's really just them and nobody else to work off of. I feel very similarly with comedy, where when you can be funny just by yourself, and in this kind of case where, you know, it's really just him having this fake phone conversation and he's being funny, it really is such a skill, and it kind of puts you a class above the rest. Him, a Rowan Atkinson, a person who
Charlie
can just
Chaplin.
be yep, another one.
Yep.
A person who can just be funny on their own and doesn't necessarily need to have some kind of, you know, goofy, silly humor like this. You know, this is kind of in a realm of, it's not super smart humor, but it's not super dumbed down either. Like it's charmingly funny, and I think he does it in a good way. And I think he does that again later on through all these phone calls with Dimitri. And I just appreciate that. When you can be funny on your own, that's a real skill set.
Yes. But yeah, the conversation is great. I just love it. It's like, yeah, we've got planes heading your way, and he's just like, it's like not a care. I'm angry, but I'm not a care. But yeah, so they're listening in. They're having their like the things. And again, we go back quickly to the nutter, who's now they're being shot at. So he gets whatever machine gun that is.
A machine gun in the golf bag, as you do. As you do.
Like he just rips it out, like, come on. And he's like that. And I like how, like, he's like to get away. I can't. I don't know the machine. I'm not really proper with that machine. My Spitfire only had one button. Like that. And he's like, but also I've got a gammy leg. I never wanted to tell you before, like that. And he's like, no, come on. But yeah, it's just the gate. It's just silly. Like, yeah, they're like under fire. And he's like, let's talk about my gammy leg. How I can get out of this. But yeah, now we go back, and then they hand over to the ambassador, who then gets told about, oh no, we forgot, we've got this doomsday device. That is a device that will automatically destruct if the Soviet Union is attacked. Automatically, there is no shut off mode to do it, and it will. I can't remember the substance. It's something like glorified, like something 4 or whatever it's called.
Forget.
Thorium cobalt.
Yes.
And don't ask me why I went down this rabbit hole, but there are actually entire essays on why thorium cobalt wouldn't work the way they say it would. It's a movie. Would anything else in this film work the way they say
I don't think
it?
this is the one we need to check for science credentials.
But
People.
yeah.
Would it have lasted 93 years? That's all I'm caring about.
Well, I'm sure it would be longer.
Exactly.
Sure
but it's supposed to be like that. It's what we got in the beginning of the movie, this actual doomsday of a device that you cannot turn off, and if you try to turn it off, it will self-explode anyway. So this doom,
Great
it's
job,
like
guys.
that.
Great job.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, and they're like, oh yes, no sane person would release this, but an insane person invented this and done it. So it's that whole things. But and then of course the president asks, could this be true? Dr. Strangelove. And Jay,
And he's just been
this is
sitting
Peter
there.
Sellers again.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Now that as soon as you said he shows up again, I was like, oh, that's right. He must have been Strangelove.
Hold it. You got to do that on your handle up. So yes, he's a the head of weapons or something. What is he? Head of weapons? I can't remember. So, but he's a very stern German.
Yeah, we
And
brought a
he was,
lot of them back
yeah, and
after
he's
the war. We brought a lot of the smart Germans back, like we
yeah,
do,
the
like we like to
affiliation
do.
didn't really matter what the British did
Doesn't
and the
matter
Russians
as
did.
long as you're
Doesn't
smart.
really. You're helping the cause. We
Made some kind
forget
of
what you
deal.
did.
There was
Yeah.
some kind of deal made. Of course there was.
Yeah, and I just love it because like the first bit is between them two. Again, they're acting to like just seconds, but it's like, well, is it true? And he just cut like this whole like what he is saying. It sounds intelligent. Again, but it's like you sound intelligent. Blatantly, it doesn't make sense to anyone.
Okay,
Like
I'm
that.
glad that that's the case because I'm listening to him like I don't think any of this makes sense, and I thought I just missed something.
No, it's
I'm
No,
like,
supposed to.
you did.
was this movie just too
Right.
smart for me or something? I'm like,
No.
I'm gonna listen to this guy. I'm like, sounded
It
like
could
he
have
made
been.
sense, but it also didn't make sense.
Yeah, it is. I'm 100%. They were like, let's make it that he sounds like the most intelligent person by using words that are very scientific, very engineerial, I suppose you want to call it, but they just don't make any sense in this like things. But it's all like to him, like, yeah, he's the play of, yeah, look at you again. You brought scientists over from the Third Reich. That did really bad things, but it's okay, as Sandy said, because you're smart. We'll let you
It's
off.
funny. We evolved to have the typical prototypical posh British accent to be the evil accent in films, right? We
Yes.
evolved to have that German accent be the smart guy accent. Who would have thought? I mean,
Yeah.
again, it just proves people don't study history very well. But of all the no offense to my German friends, and I do have German blood as well as Russian blood, but you would think, maybe the German accent would be the baddie accent, but it's not. It's the smart guy accent.
Yeah. Has anybody tried the Doctor Strangelove accent?
Oh, I wouldn't begin.
Again, you have the typical, and I like that because you have the typical Brit, how it like your Royal Air Force. That's the thing. You have the typical out of control with cigar general American, and then you go into let's have the typical what everybody would expect from a former a party member of a certain German party and what they would sound like. It's just it's hilarious, and he's wearing all black with a black
He's
light.
wearing all black with the Dieter sunglasses, which the Saturday Night Live had a character Dieter, and I guess I didn't realize probably quite influenced by Dr. Strangelove. But back to accents again and again. I don't want to sound really rude here, but I also tend to think, so Germany was our enemy, Russia was our enemy, of course, but the Russian accent has developed to be more kind of the bumbling baddie instead of a baddie. But, I think if we were to say, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think if we were to say the scary evil in movies is usually that British accent, that posh Grand Moff Tarkin. The bumbling baddie is usually that Russian accent. For right or wrong, just an observation.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, he's just on this. He's explaining that it could happen. This could be a great device. I did think of it once, and if you have gigabytes of computer or whatever he says, like it could happen. So that's all you take out. But sorry, not Buck. Ripper is in full mode, and I like this because when they're shooting well, he's also encouraging them. Well shot there. Well done, like that. So yeah, it's like it's silly whilst he's opening up. Well, the group captain's still like, oh, jolly damn it. But finally his men get overrun and they surrender. Of course, he's downtrodden whilst the group captain is still trying to look, just tell me the code, just the 3-letter code. Tell me, look, you've tried your hardest, it's over now. And he's just like, yeah, the boys let me down. And off he goes, he drops his weapon, goes into the bathroom. He's like, that's it.
We
You
asked
clean
him if
yourself
he'd
up.
ever been a prisoner of war.
Oh, yeah. So that, but yeah.
Never
he's
been
like, "Well,
tortured.
yeah.
I don't know where that was going though. Was he?
I thought it was going a different direction, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. And then it just
I don't-
kind of doesn't. Well, I mean, I thought he was going to try to sense like what this Mandrake was made of, or maybe think that like, were you a prisoner of war? Were you somebody who might have been compromised by Russia? Like, I wasn't sure where it was going. I thought it was a sign of distrust of the
That's what I
Mandrake
thought
character.
too. He was testing him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like to see like.
And we
I couldn't
liked him,
tell
though,
if it
didn't
was
we?
either and that was the thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was a test of can I share this code with you and trust it, or if it was a test of have you been compromised by the enemies that or who he perceives to be the enemies. I was a bit confused, and then it just turns out that it was seemingly just honestly asking
conversation.
questions
There was
just to
no
know
payoff
like
for that,
what am I in
yeah.
for? And
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
with the way the rest of the scene plays out, I get it, and I think that makes sense to have done it that way. It just leading up to it, it just felt like it was going a totally different direction than didn't.
Yeah, but so yeah, he goes off, and I like it because even at this point, like he's got his machine gun, he's got his jacket, and he's like, well, that's well done, but we did all we could, and he's been really nice about about the situation. That yeah, you want to put some water on your neck, clean up, have a good show, and we can move on from this. And then of course the door closes, as YouTube would say, he self-deletes. Yeah, we hear just one gunfire, and it's like bang. Oh. So yeah, that's done. But meanwhile, we have had a little time away from our main a group of aircraft, our main one we're kind of concentrating on. And of course, whilst the premier has ordered, we've got to take them out on the orders as well of the president of like, well, we'll tell you everywhere they've been. You got, if we can't get them back, you've got to shoot them down. So we'll give you all the information on our own aircraft. So they get a missile lock on them. And of course, we get a bit of an explosion, like in the aircraft. There wasn't very good picture, but then we go back. So the aircraft's damaged now. This, like, when they actually get hit and they like its things, that does look a bit ropey because it doesn't look like there's a bad explosion from the outside. I don't know why they did that.
There's a lot that looks a bit ropey, but
the manic inside the aircraft looked actually quite good, but the aircraft just looked the same. Like,
and there was one point after they took a bunch of damage, and it might have been when they lowered their altitude. I can't remember, but the plane just starts flying at like this ridiculous speed, and the effect of it too. It looked really bad. I was like, ooh, that one aged pretty poorly. So a little bit of I mean, a few of just the still shots of the plane on top of moving background looked a little rough, but I would say effects wise of trying to get some of the damage in that across, that was a little dodgy there.
Yeah, and anybody wants to know, I have been on one of those old radars and actually sat there watching that.
Cool.
Oh, so I had a feeling because when I was watching this with my wife, I was like, oh, I believe Stasis used to do this, and I believe he was on radar. So I'm like, I couldn't remember exactly, but I was pretty sure. So I'm glad I got it right.
We went to my old base radar things. I'll have to send you some pictures of a kid in a couple of things.
Oh,
I walked past
that
one,
is awesome.
and it was a really old one. It's in a museum. I went, oh my god, I worked on that.
That exactly,
and it's in a museum. Yeah, damn it.
That's funny because my dad just this weekend was saying last weekend he wanted to take, because we had all been up to his old base, but he wants to take the grandkids up to where he was in Lakehurst, New Jersey, where many years before him, where the Hindenburg exploded. That's the claim to fame of that base at Lakehurst, New Jersey. So that's really cool. But now maybe just for those in the chat, if they hadn't seen the film, this bomber is not the only one.
No.
There are multitudes of bombers heading toward different targets in Russia. It wasn't just this one. It's the whole wing that has been ordered to, FDG 105 or whatever the code was. But here's where and you see this in other films too, where that Russian pride comes in. There were 4 that we shot down, and all of them are accounted for. But there was one that wasn't. And I tend to think like the Russians you know, you don't want to say that one got away, but they
Mm.
had to say that one got away because one was still heading toward, you know,
Mm.
potentially heading toward its target.
But we go back and now we see the last scribblings of a madman, and
Mhm.
the group captain kind of works out, oh, this must be OPE or a variation of OE, you know, EP or something like that. So he's working out, you know, until we get now the guy. This is the guy from the
This is
yeah.
Keenan. His Keenan Wyan. His call sign here is Sergeant Guano, Bat Guano. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, a little too on the nose, a little too silly. But when I saw his face, I was like, I've seen him in many other places, and he's just a character actor. But if you go down his IMDb, he's been in everything. Like
Yeah.
he's no longer with us, but every sitcom, and just one or two film credits, and the most recent was, you know, Chester Copperpot in Goonies. So there we go.
No kidding.
But yeah, so he shoots his way in. How dare you shoot? And I like it because he's like, what is it? What suit is that? It's not a suit. It's a Royal Air Force. And I was like, yeah, you definitely. And Brit would go, no, it's, well, I'm guessing most that's not a suit. It's a uniform. But yeah, he's back and forth of like, look, I've got this. I need to speak to the I don't think he calls president or something, getting the Pentagon, does he? Picks up one, damn it, and picks up the other. Damn it. But like this point, I like how he's like,
You shot my phone.
yeah, he's like, yeah, how dare you shot in the phone, like one of your men. But like this, because he's still keeping his upper lip, the British upper lip, even though
Oh yeah.
he's probably the only person that can actually save the world at the moment by working out what he's commanding officer wrote down in scribbles. But yeah, he's still keeping his calm. And I like that's like great. Like just yeah, Peter Sellers is just it's that little bit of like, okay, most people would panic. But no, I'm British. We won't panic at all. So yeah, it's
Keep
good,
calm
but,
and carry on.
yeah. But yes, so we get back again. I had to keep doing these shots because you can like it's a model. We know it's a model,
bad.
but we get back, yeah. But whilst we took the explosion, we have a lot of damage. So the recall or comms device, I'm going to call it, has been taken out. Especially also the auto destruct device has destructed itself.
Also, the bomber doors have been damaged as well.
Yeah.
Everything's
We don't know that yet, do we? We just know there's been a lot. So so everybody's panicking kind of like that, except for Major King, who's like, yeah, we got to go on. We're doing this for everyone. Then we go back, of course, a telephone. It's like, let me get the president on the line. And it's so funny. I just like this little subtle thing of like, it's so important, and they won't take a collect call, even though they know it's from that base, and he hasn't got the right change,
Needs
so they won't put through the key. It's like,
nope.
Yeah, it's like nope, and he's like, okay, next one. I'm still short, and he's like, well, yeah, and it's the okay. I can't remember his rank. Is it Colonel?
Sergeant.
Yeah, Colonel.
He's a sergeant.
Is a sergeant. Get the. I want you to take your weapon and shoot and get me to change out of that. And he's like, that's private property. And he's like, damn it, just do it. And he's like, well, if you can't get in touch with the president to the lines of it, that you'll have to answer to who?
To the Coca-Cola
To the
company.
like all the things you need to care of at the time. You know, it's just great.
Only product placement in this film, Coca-Cola, which is actually counter to our pattern of Pepsi.
I know we
had
need, because True Romance was Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
This is Coca-Cola. We should actually work out.
We need a Coke and Pepsi counter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've had a lot more Pepsi.
I'm guessing the only movie apart from that would be Train Spotting. That would have been Iron Brew. Must have had an Iron Brew placement on that. But that was it. Must have been. But yeah, he goes and gets it, and it's the only little bit of comical timing I suppose he gets hits by the coke as the coins are coming out. Yeah, it's just a bit silly, but yeah. So you don't actually hear him get the recall code off, but they all start celebrating that. All the
See the
aircraft,
planes all going back.
yeah, all the they're called leaders, so that's it. The little
Sorry.
dots, the leaders, they're leaders. Come on. So
Nice.
so they all get things, and they all start celebrating, and of course, Buck. I'm not normally like this, but he gets everybody into a little prayer, and everybody's happy. We get a little bit of strange love just in the dark. I love it because what is he doing? Just like lurking in the dark. But of course, the Dimitriev is raving mad. And this is what to Sandy's point is they all but 4 were recalled because all the 4 being shot down, and then the Russians have to admit except for that one, it might have just been damaged, and they can't, of course, they can't contact it. And now they're lower. Was it? We're lower than radar, but they might harpoon us or something. So yeah, so it's great, but. And then, of course, they're just going back and forth, and then we're just getting them into position of everybody's now telling what's been damaged, what's not been damaged, and of course now they're panicking back in the war room of another. Well, I'm sorry, Dimitri. What did you mean like that? So they're also panicking that now they need to find this one aircraft that's left. Where then the president asks Buck, is there a possibility? And he's like, and I like how he gets enthusiastic about, well, if he's a great pilot, and he just goes in and they get low.
He gets excited. He's like, let him try to shoot him down. He's like, these are our guys. They're gonna, he's very proud. It's a very proud moment. And it's funny because they're like, what's going on? And then it's like, oh no. I had to put that because that is a great facial expression of like, oh no, we've trained our guys so well that they will execute anything we go. So, and they're all arguing about the point. We get I didn't want to do that. So sorry. Hit the wrong button.
Right. Went over. So they're running out of fuel, so they've got to find a secondary target. So they go to their secondary one or third target, or can't remember at this point. But we go back. They're still getting into the thing, and it's just his enthusiasm of like, oh yeah, we're screwed. We're completely screwed. Of like, because if he's a good pilot, they're not gonna miss their mark. They're gonna keep on going. It's that, and of course we get more targeting, and now this is where they've got their new target. They're in position. They're all going. They're doing their final checks. Mission such bang, 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 and then what's happened whilst they're doing the checks? Well, James L. Jones is the bomber doors won't open, and I like how they try everything, like blow it, everything, and he's like, nope, still nothing, still, sorry, sir. Literally, the only thing that could actually hinder you from dropping is, we got a weapon. Now, before we go on to the next one, I did ask chat what were the names of one of the bombs, and everybody get right. One of them at least is hi there, like that. So Spank Me only got 10%, Hot Payload 10%, and Nasty Newt 10%. And I don't mean Spank Me only got 10%. That sounded a bit weird when I said that.
Fair enough.
Maybe it'd be more. I don't know how sometimes. But I'll end that poll. But everybody got it right. And do you guys remember what the second one was?
Oh God. I thought of it when I answered the poll. It was hi there and Dear John.
Dear John, well done. But this is the thing, isn't it? They always use it. What I don't go on, Sandy, historical.
So the bombs that were dropped on Japan, does anyone in chat know the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
What was written on them?
Oh, yeah, I thought I used to know, but it's not coming to mind now.
Yeah. So Hiroshima was little boy, and Nagasaki was fat man.
That's right.
That was
Fat Man
written
is the
on.
one that stood out. That's the one I knew.
Mhm.
There
And
we
there
go.
are some other ones I kind of forgot, but like some of the bombs that were tested, some of the first bombs that were tested out in the sands in the desert had interesting names too. But I've forgotten those, but I do. I remember Little Boy and Fat Man.
And Bear. Was it? How do you pronounce that?
Oh God, even I'm gonna have trouble with that one. I have to sound
Bear,
it out a bit.
I'm going to call you Bear.
I think Bear for now until we can figure it out.
But he
If
got
that's
them
all right.
exactly the same time. So well done. Yeah.
Beranowicze, am I
Welcome to
saying
the
that
chat.
correctly? That's a good Polish name, I think. If that's
Is that
if
all right
that's
if
your name.
we go
That's a
with
good
Bear?
Polish name.
Can we get an okay in chat
I
on
don't
that?
know. Yeah,
But Bear, you are welcome. Yes, asked
Yes.
if this was an open chat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
100%.
yeah, for sure. Sorry, I didn't
Film
even
club
that.
is for all. Although
There's
we
only
do
one rule about film club. You have to talk about film
talk
club.
about Film
Yes.
Club.
There we go.
And we do spoilers. So this is a 1964 film. If you haven't seen it yet, sorry. We will tell you.
We're only an hour in.
Though. We choose our films 2 weeks in advance, so you always have 2 weeks or a little more to catch up. But we will always be very spoilery.
Yes,
indeed. It is the nature of Film Club.
Because we need to talk about Film Club. But yeah, so on this, Major King has gone down into the weapons load area. I don't want to call it, or the cargo area,
payload bay, right? Is that
payload bay, yes, yeah. To take on, and there's a electrical problem. Let's call it that. So yeah, he's fixing it, and we're trying to fix it to get the doors open. As now it's 6 miles, 5 miles. They're getting near to their secondary target, and whilst he finally gets the payload doors open, and really, really excited, and then out of nowhere, off he goes. Like that, just like, what about Major King? And he's gone.
He's gonna make a ride out of it for sure.
And this is like this is an iconic one, isn't it? A cowboy riding a nuclear weapon. If you're gonna go out,
enough said.
That's it. If you're gonna go, why not? How do you want to die? Nuclear weapon, riding it. Okay, that would do. Yeah,
swinging a cowboy hat, I guess, right?
Yeah, but so that happens, and then of course, the payload, explodes, and that's that. Everything's. But then, of course, Dr. Strangelove comes up with I'm going to do a cunning plan. The most ridiculous idea, but
he's been thinking about it for a while, I think.
Yes,
I mean, I think he's already had this plan.
And I like it how they go on to bringing it down to sex. That's brilliant. So his idea is there's the old mine shafts in America, and we can dig into them, and then we can do dwellings for over 100,000, I think he says. But they're all listening, but his plan, of course, is relevant that it will be 10 to 1, 10 women to every one man.
You have to repopulate.
Yeah,
so
and it's, but I like at that point everybody was like, what are you talking about? Until they go, oh, can you go, especially Buck, let me go back to that point when you mean 10 to 1. So you only say men will have to like that. It's quite funny just bringing it back to like the men's brain, I suppose, like that. The greatest unweaponized weapon is like the stupidity of you can have a lot of sex, just to let you know. And to do that, we're going to have to make all the women,
the end of civilization.
But all the women have to be sexually attracted. Their assets have to be sexually, I can't remember something like that, but also attractive.
Forget the phrasing he uses, but that's essentially the idea, to maximize efficiency, essentially.
And then whilst this is going on, I do like his hand is becoming itself. it's former self. Let's say that.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I don't. He keeps on calling the president as well.
Führer.
That Mein Führer, like that. It's like I'm sorry, Mr. President, and it's like that. And he's just going. This is a bit of a comedy. This is the most comedy sketch that you have. It is like this ex party member is absolutely going mad whilst trying to tell how you will keep humanity alive as well. And they're all being more intrigued at so how long we got to be down there. And the president is doing a presidential thing, is okay, he's clever, let's listen to his solution of this. But the ideas are getting like okay, but are getting worse, like a bit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then he's getting his arms getting like a mind of its own. And I'm now there's a salute. I'm sure YouTube would not let me show so I things, but he does the Nazi salute, let's call it that. What we wouldn't have on the screen, but it's funny because it's just like straight up.
It's involuntary.
Like,
his body's just doing
like,
it, and the rest of his body is just physically even fighting it, to punching it and trying to stop it.
And he starts choking himself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, at this point, it's where Buck comes up. Well,
Wait
again, it's this. But it's the stupidity. We've had that, but it's the stupidity of. Well, this is great, but what about if the commies have got a bigger weapon that they will use, and we'll have a mine shaft void or something, doesn't he? So like now,
then we have a gap. We have to keep up with them again. It's this never-ending parallel race to oblivion. Really,
it is funny, and of course, when we get he's just going absolutely yes, mine like that. So we know, of course, the ambassador goes off, takes a couple of pictures because he goes, he's actually right. We need to get a weapon before them. So now it's another arms race, but only for who gets the control of the mine shafts for the next 100 years. So he does that, and then of course it makes me laugh every time. It's like, sir, I have a plan, and then he just stands up. Mein Führer, I could walk. It's like every time I watch this, I laugh because it's just, and it's so abrupt that's the end of the movie, and then you just get we'll meet again, Vera, and then we get
oblivion, the end of the world,
oblivion, the end of the world of all what would actually happen. It's just it's a subtle things. I'm saying the music just plays in the right places of that, and I'd say it's not a very long movie. The dialogues are all set. There's not many scenes, but that's the movie. That is really, and it's very.
It's a quick one.
Like, was it 90 minutes? It's got to be.
Just about.
Yeah, just about an hour and a half.
It's a quick one with a lot to say and a lot of points to make in a satirical type of way, and it's. Well, I don't want to jump right into my review of it, but I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed it.
Sandy, you had it ready. I saw some history notes.
I am ready. So sorry about that. This is based on a book. It's based on the book called Red Alert by Peter Bryant. I did not read. This is my first film club failure. I just needed a break. So I did not read this book. But what I did, I hate when people say did do. What I did was go back into some Cold War history. So this is set, as I mentioned, in the kind of early middle of the Cold War, because historians will debate whether the Cold War actually has ever ended, but we kind of mark the beginning of the Cold War as the end of World War II. The end of the Cold War is the fall of the Berlin Wall, for all intents and purposes. So this is kind of the early middle-ish. of that Cold War period. And what did it mean to live in that time and to feel the threat and to understand, having been aware of the impact of the bombings of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and understanding the um, the power of and the threat of nuclear weapons, and having this race of, quote, deterrence, which is like nuclear proliferation. You're just making more and more bombs, only a few of which need to ever be detonated. And it's, you're trying to keep up in numbers with your opponent. And it's about the threat. It's about the threat. And neither side wants to push that button first, because it is the end of everything. And during that time, we had amazing advances in technology, which were both pretty cool and awesome, but also incredibly more scary and terrifying. So it's a weird time to be. You had fallout shelters in schools and public buildings, and I remember in my grade school in the late 80s still having those yellow and blue fallout circles that said, fallout shelter in this book in this building. At 1 o'clock in Baltimore on Mondays, the air raid sirens would go off just to test the sirens. No one actually did anything. We still have the remnants of our emergency alert system in the United States. This is a test of the emergency alert system, blah, blah, blah. You can recite it because we hear it so often. And then, for kids today and young people today, they have no clue about that. And I tend to think, like, apart from being in war, that is the threat of war. And I do tend to think that folks today, sorry to sound like the old lady here, really don't have a clue. They have not lived through a real, world war, thank goodness. Those living here in the United States and in the West, of course, other parts of the world have lived through atrocities recently. But all that said, everybody was on edge. And then to have a parody, a spoof, this kind of a film during that time is actually pretty bold, I think, which is kind of what Stanley Kubrick is all about. What I would highly recommend is the miniseries that was on CNN at the time, back when CNN actually did news, produced by Turner, called The Cold War. And it's a 12-part series, but I think they cut it into 24 half an hours, but it was 12 parts. I watched them all. It's narrated by Ken Branagh. So not just because of Ken Branagh did I watch them all.
A little bit, though. A little.
And a little bit for sure. So I do highly recommend that series. Someone asked me recently, does Ken Branagh have I'm sorry, did Ken Burns do the Cold War? And he didn't. He did a Vietnam series documentary that touches on the Cold War a little bit. But he hasn't, at least yet, tackled the Cold War. I'm also going to pull up the name of a book. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find there is a book, The Cold War, and which I have read, and the author is. Sorry, it's taking a minute to get here.
Well, whilst you find that, I just want to point out one thing I didn't mention is, when Buck, George C. Scott, does his speech and he falls over and he spins and he does like kind of
Yes.
that he actually did fall over and carried on in character.
Isn't that
Oh,
amazing?
no kidding. I thought that was totally done on purpose.
No, it actually did that. Yeah, he completely carried on into character, just sat down, and then
it works really well.
Like, and it was only they were like, cut, yeah, great.
Didn't
And he was
miss a
like,
step.
no, and he was like, yeah, I accidentally did that, and they went, no, that was perfect, and it actually makes that scene. It's like great. It's like,
no, it's great.
More to it. Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The book is by John Gaddis, and it's called The Cold War. So for those who want to, and it's an easy one, it's an easy read, it's a good primer. but this obviously is a Stanley Kubrick film for all the reasons that we can kind of see in the cinematography. And I've already listed, we've already talked about these individuals here. The name that's not on this list is the young lady, Tracy Reed. Not a Bond girl, but as close as you could be to a Bond girl. She was in the spoof Casino Royale. So
Okay. What Peter Sellers is in again.
yes, exactly. So so she is a, air quotes Bond girl. The scenes, the scenery of the planes flying over, what could be probably supposed to be the Arctic or Siberia, was actually flying over the Colorado Rockies and Canada. And the war room and other interior scenes were filmed at Shepperton in London.
Yeah. And
So
did you know whilst they were doing that flyovers, they got downed, got told to land by a US military aircraft because they went over a secret military base.
did
And
And
they?
they
Well,
all
that's
got
what
they all got
that's
put
what you
into
get.
custody for being spies because
That's what you get.
they were filming like in Colorado.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
As far as the results here, the and even for the attempts at effects, $1.8 million budget, which would be about 19.3 million today. It did make 9.3 million at the box office today. That would be just short of 100 million. So it was a box office success. It was the 12th highest grossing film of 1964. Does anyone want to guess what the number one film of 1964 was?
Oh, I wouldn't even have a clue.
No idea.
Is it Bond? Did you? 'Cause you
Mary
said Bond.
Poppins. It was
Mary
Okay,
Poppins.
yeah.
it was Mary
Okay.
Poppins. However, Dr. No and From Russia with Love. I'm sorry, not Dr. No. Goldfinger and From Russia with Love were both released in this year. So there were two Bond films released in 1964. It was nominated for a few Oscars, didn't win any. It won 2 BAFTAs, one for Best British Film and one for Best Art Direction. And it is regarded by the American Film Institute as the 26th top film of all time
Wow.
and the 3rd comedy of all time. And you kind of hear my voice saying, that's a
I
little,
wouldn't.
it's a little high.
Yeah, for outright comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
It does like satire it falls in between, doesn't it? It
yeah,
just so I wouldn't class it as a full out comedy. It needs like its
no.
own these ones need their own category.
No, and also surprisingly, in the very first class
Sorry,
of
Sandy,
film,
can you what was Peter Sellers nominated for? Was he nominated for actor or how would that happen? Because he did all three because he does good roles. Was one of the nominations?
I don't think he was nominated as actor.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Jack,
Kubrick was
look out. Jack, go.
Yeah, Kubrick was nominated as director but didn't win. And in fact, Kubrick has never won an Oscar. He's won an
Really?
Oscar for his technical, like for art direction or something on a different film. But he's not won
That
for
is
direct.
mad because a lot of modern directors, they're like he was a director genius, aren't they?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they high him in high regard.
Well, it's like when Scorsese won for The Departed, which I think is quite weak compared to Goodfellas and Casino. Like he should have won for Goodfellas. There's just
Yeah, absolutely.
he should have won for Goodfellas. So yeah, so like when you look back and you think, okay, Kubrick should have won something. Should it have been for 2001? Oh, that was what he did win for like technical art direction for 2001: A Space
2001.
Odyssey, not for his direction for that film. But for it to be in the first class of films preserved by the Library of Congress, that was a real shock to me because I don't think of this film as that big. So I won't go into my review yet. James, this was your film. Who would you like to go? Would you like me to go first? Would you like Jay to go first?
Oh, I'll go first. I'll go first.
Oh,
I
you
never
go
go
first.
first. I'm going first. No, just on your point, it's like the modern people. Like, there's always a question that everybody they find it fascinating because everybody knows where they were on September 11th. And everybody, you know, like oh, you know, where were you when Diana died and stuff like that. That's the questions, you know, like people, you know, like where were you, such and such. And everybody goes, and I like my answer is always like I was in a nuclear bunker. And everybody's like, what? Like that. I actually was. And I love that because like this film, it just like that, my path. And it was funny because like I went to my old base at now what's a museum. And of course, then I had to watch this again. And it was just like, it brought back some like fond memories and like going, that's funny, you know, and explaining it. But I find this movie now, as I said, it's not a comedy as such. It's thoughtful. If that's things, it's because it is a satire. It is 100%. Because except for the end bit, what always makes me giggle when he gets up on the chair, it's not I'm going to be giggling the way through this movie. It's supposed to make you think about the stupidity of the situation they are in and set in real time, I suppose. Like, so as I say, like to be set when it's 64 and everything's hyped up to actually think it must have had quite a good impact at the cinema because it is well regarded. I think it's a clever movie. If that is that's how I think the dialogue is really great. I think because it doesn't go over the top with the comedy, but it gives you the point across that everything you are watching should be absurd, and we shouldn't be making a movie about the absurdity, but this is real life. You know, we're all doing this. You know, we vote in these people, and then they've got it there. They can red button. You know, don't press the red button. They've got it. So I think to show the Cold War, you know, it's great. Like some of the back and forth where you have the dialogue between, you know, on the phones and nobody, I suppose, like that. You got to go kudos to the performances, and it's not just like it's a Peter Sellers movie because he plays 3 parts, but they're all like great at supporting each other. And that's things like, you know, you got the Buck and I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name who was in The Godfather, the other General Ripper. They all bounce off each other. They all really are really good. Even when the sergeant comes on, everybody's doing doing their parts and like for the story of the absurdity of it without having to be over comedic to bring that point forward. So I think it's great. I get why it's on a pedestal because of the subject matter, because of the absurdity about, you know, that. I would still say this is 7 out of 10. I would say. I mean, it's a cusp of the low 7 out of 10. It's a great movie. I think it's one that isn't one people should watch. And I think you could go back to it, but I wouldn't think it's one that you need to like. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the people do love it. I understand that. I think it's just a clever movie. I think it's well done for 1964. The faults are, with the plane. You got to give that. Maybe it was pretended to be that to make it not so serious that, you know, it's a model. Not like strings, it felt like, you know, just on the back of a green screen or whatever they used back then to fly it. They're a bit janky. The performances, like in the aircraft, are good. They're all doing it like that. They're all. It feels like all their, you know, all the code words, all the sayings, all the phrases they feel. It feels like the military. It's blatantly they had somebody who was going, no. You don't like I do get pissed off with that, is where you watch military people in movies and they don't talk like the military would, but this they do. So that was good to say. But yeah, Peter Sellers is I think he's great in this. Died way too young, unfortunately. But yeah, it's good to see. Yeah, so I adore this movie just because it's great, but it's not a 10 out of 10. It can't be, because it's not a comedy. It's satire, so it drops for me. And there are quirks in it that it's just, as Jay would say, you would probably knock it down a point or two because it feels a bit outdated.
Mhm.
Apart from that, the message is there. The message of this movie is there, and you can't get that. And there's a lot of it. You get sucked into the stupidity of the conversations they're having between each other. You're like, oh no, like these people in real life do have that button. So even like, you know, today, the people, you know, in charge, this is still the point that they're still going for today. It's like, oh no, like that. So I like it. It's great.
Mhm.
So yeah, there we go.
Well said. I'll go
Yeah, you
next.
go ahead.
Yeah, so I agree with a lot of what you just said there. I think, you know, it's a really interesting movie. I think how the topic and the subject matter is just still, you know, something that's relevant even today. Like I mentioned earlier, not to rehash what I already said, but when you're going to do political satire, I think this movie is how you should do it, or at least an example of how you should do it. I think when you choose something that's an unfortunate kind of timeless concept that we still deal with today, you know, it makes it so that the kind of sting or the punchline, however you want to put it, the point of this movie still remains all these years later. And I think that's, you know, credit to Kubrick's vision at that point in time. You know, in terms of satire, I think they do a great job with it. The satirical nature of this movie, I think, is pretty funny. You know, kind of because when you boil down some of these concepts, it's like, wow, it really is pretty silly when you boil all these high stakes, serious things that go on down to what this movie does, because it unfortunately feels pretty true about kind of the people in positions of power and the leadership of, you know, not any country in specific, just in general, humans in power. What's the old saying? Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. There's people in there who make decisions based on their own interests, this, that, the other thing. And that kind of stuff, I think, is always just interesting subject matter to cover. And I think this movie does a good job with it. Now, I will say I appreciate this movie probably more than I enjoyed it. And I did enjoy it. I don't mean to sound like I didn't. But I think I appreciate, one, how it was done, minus the little bit of dodgy effects with the planes. But, you know, older time, I can let that slide a bit. But more so just the point this movie was making at the time it made it is something I could really appreciate. I think now, you know, we've seen that point be made time and time again. I mean, in terms of kind of general like public stuff, there's always been free speech in this country. But, you know, but for big things like Hollywood or somebody like Kubrick at the time to take on that, you know, kind of poking fun at the government stance, I think is probably you know, something very different for the time and something that really stood out as edgy and like, whoa, did you guys see that, catch that movie and all that. So I appreciate what it probably meant in 1964. And I think it still has a strong meaning today. But for enjoyment factor, I probably fall at about a solid 6. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I think it's really well done. Like I said, satire and it's pretty good. Peter Sellers, I haven't seen much of him outside of like one of the old Pink Panther movies. So really cool to see him in this, and now realizing that he was multiple roles in this is even more impressive. So I appreciate a lot about it, and I did definitely enjoy it. I put it about a 6. I'd say it's a definite recommend. Where it falls on the list of all Kubrick, I'm not sure because I haven't seen that much of his stuff, as I said earlier. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of it as we go on here.
Excellent. Yeah. Yes. Peter Sellers is, I'm guessing he did a lot of UK stuff. So everybody feel like he's done some big ones, and everybody thinks he's got a good film career. But he died at 54.
Oh God!
So
really?
everybody's like that. It's one. Yeah, it was one of those depressions, lot of substances, and then heart attack when he was 54. Like he had major
and he was
like
he
you get it.
Yeah,
he was a comedian. Yeah, so like that.
Poor tortured soul.
Again, yeah, yes. I was gonna say Robin Williams.
Yeah, just it's sad. You know, look at Jim. I know Jim Carrey went through a pretty dark patch himself too. So it's
you can entertain the world. You can't do it to yourself. It's like it's a horrible world. But the end of his career, kind of before his death. Yeah, it was just plagued with the thing. But he's like is one of those geniuses probably that went too soon. But that's what life is. But Sandy, I'm guessing we're going to have a different take. Go.
Yeah, we're going to have a different take. And similar to Jay, I do appreciate the film. I don't like this film.
Oh, interesting.
And let's put the plane and the special effects aside. But overall, the black and white, the monochrome, it's distracting to me, because we're not in the 40s. We're not portraying the 40s or the 30s. We're in the 60s and we're portraying the 60s. Why the black and white? I don't understand. I get that the focus is on the dialogue and the focus is on, very discrete actions. And really, there are only three settings. There is the war room, there's the room with Mandrake and Ripper, and there's the plane, up in the bomber
Yeah.
with King Kong and company. It's very simple. It's a very sparse film. The dialogue carries the film. I appreciate the performances. I don't like the look of the film. It distracts me. I think Kubrick is trying to be too cute, too Kubrick. I don't know how else to say it. With long pauses and it it just is distracting. The theme of the film is of interest to me. It is when I give things a score for historical accuracy. I wouldn't have thought I was going to try to give this film a score because it's not depicting a real event. But here's what I will give it a score for is to capture that, mania of mistrust and what people were feeling and what was really going on and the absurdity of it all. I think it actually captures that quite well. And I'd kind of give it a historical B+ for that. And maybe that's why it's preserved by the National Film Registry and so honored. I just don't like the cutesiness of the cinematography. I While I love George C. Scott, I think his lines were over the top. I think Ripper was over the top, which is probably the juxtaposition between him and Mandrake. The posh, controlled British officer versus the maniac American. I just, I can't connect with the characters. And truly, the one that I thought was the most well done was Peter Sellers as the president. I thought that was slightly more careful and caution and under control. Overall, I wouldn't see this film again. I had only seen it once before. I recommend it still for its place in history. I give it a 4.5. And it's not one that I seek to watch again. It actually is not. There's nothing of interest to me as I watch this film. Yeah. So that's
no pun intended.
No pun intended, but yeah, that's me.
It's very interesting you point out the visual style of this movie, because I like the fact that it was black and white, but that the cinematography almost felt like more of a bridge out of the black and white era and into more of a modern kind of filming view. So
Which
I actually thought that was kind of
50s,
interesting,
but not in the 60s. That's why, okay, think about the same time. Like I said, there's Mary Poppins, there's James Bond films happening at this point in time. The Italian Job was again, Sink the Bismarck was before this film, was 5 years before this film. So but that was using real war footage.
right.
But yeah, you think of the 60s. I don't understand why black and white. Why? I know it's an artistic choice.
I will say
to dull down the colors. Maybe it was just to do that, because if you have all the the uniforms and everything like that, maybe it's just to dull down the tone of the lighting, because you have the lighting tight. Yeah, I kind of, I think I agree with Jack. I kind of like it because I know it's not. It can be color. You get those things like, I'm sorry, it's a new one, like Sin City. That can be color.
Yeah,
like that is a style choice. Of course, different take on it, but you do get modern day black and white movies. The Man Who Was Never There.
The Lighthouse, the one I just watched
yep.
recently.
I like
I
sometimes
thought it was
works.
an interesting bridge.
Yeah, I liked it, but
it kind of takes
Sorry.
the black and white style and mixes it with like, okay,
Mhm.
you know, the visual black and white, and obviously, you know, it worked for me, but obviously it didn't work for Sandy, and it may not work for other people. But I kind of just viewed it as me as somebody who, and maybe this is because I have such a little experience in black and white film, that I kind of because when I think of black and white film, and so far it's held pretty true for the most part with the ones that we've watched, it's a totally different style of acting, camera work, just everything. It's almost branded with its own visual look outside of just that the color is, you know, black and white.
Mhm.
So I kind of I thought this was a bit of and again, because it was at a time where the black and white film, I guess, like you said, was about 10 years, if not 10 to 20 years prior. Film had kind of progressed already at this point, but I kind of view it as a little bit of a bridge between the visual style of old filmmaking and kind of spearheading this filmmaking that we would get, which is, you know, still obviously evolved even more to this day. But honestly, was the first shot when they're zooming in on the guy who puts this all in motion, whose name I'm forgetting, Ripper. When they kind of zoom in on him in his office making the call, I was like, ooh, the cinematography here looks almost modern. And I thought it was just interesting with the black and white kind of filter over it. So yeah, just again, another great thing of Film Club, how we both saw the same thing, but come out of it with two different opinions on it. Very interesting.
It is what's great about Film Club.
Jay, do you get that? Let's see if Jay gets that joke.
No, I don't get it.
Now, Sandy, you get that joke?
Oh, is it?
Bloody
Does it have something to do with your
license.
driving licenses? Is it cheaper?
No, TV license.
You have to pay for your
I didn't know if you guys paid
licenses.
like colored
Yeah.
license.
If you get color, it's really expensive. Black and white. You don't
no
pay
kidding. Fair enough.
So I'm like, oh, maybe. Yeah, I wonder if that's actually a thing. I only watch black and white movies, so
fair enough.
Got color TV. No, but I only watch black and white.
I will say though, to your points, I was going to say Stacy again, Sandy on it. You know, maybe being a bit of artistic decision that almost could possibly come off as a little obnoxious. One of the reasons I haven't dove into Kubrick, and this is not fair to him or his body of work, but sometimes it's just the way some of his most interested fans kind of are a little bit up. How do you say it? I don't want to say up their own ass, but I'm trying to think of a better way to say it. But you know, they're just kind of a little bit pretentious.
That's what we call Boston Red Sox fans. It's fine. Carry on.
Oh, that's what we call Yankees fans. So I guess we all got our version of it. But yeah, I don't know. It just comes off a little pretentious, the kind of fandom of his work. And it's unfair for me to be, you know, a little bit standoffish towards diving into some of his work because of that. Because it's always just
a lot.
I think it's the combination of that mixed with that bad experience I had watching 2001 at an age where I was never going to appreciate it. I just kind of always had this thing in my mind of like, why does everybody make such a big deal about his work? It seems a little uppity and a little kind of pretentious, you know, up your own stuff kind of way. So I've avoided it. And then I watched The Clockwork Orange, and I really did not like A Clockwork Orange.
I was about to bring that up.
I'm like,
I don't think it's the only one we haven't mentioned.
Right. He does that so much.
I've kept struggling to be like, what is it people see? And then I watched The Shining, and then I was like, oh, okay. I like
but
this.
Then he misses the mark. What's the other one? Is it Eyes Wide Shut? The last one?
Yes, the Tom Cruise one, which I remember watching, but years ago I have to watch it.
It's diabolical. It's terrible.
Is it?
Literally,
okay.
I've never seen that one.
Yeah,
I watched it years ago.
If you go for it, it's literally unrateable. It's such a mess. It's like that, but that's because he died and then he had a tin and all that.
Oh, was that
but just how it just was over the top. Like I'm trying to make a stylistic, movie.
That's kind of like the judge a book by a cover thing. I always get with not so much him, but it's a weird combination of my experience and of exposure to the world of Kubrick and his work. The bad experience with watching, being forced to watch that in a science class when I was just too young to ever possibly appreciate it. The kind of pretentious fan base and the uppity kind of artsy style of that, it's Kubrick films. They're just, if you don't like them, you just don't get them. You're not smart enough.
The only thing I
like
about Kubrick is he never did the same thing twice. He was always going, you know what? that's not my style. I'm going to push it. I want to try this.
Right.
It may not work, and that's why I think a lot of directors like, because you get them directors like, you know, like you're gonna, if you get that director, you know what you're gonna get.
You're gonna be
He was
safe,
like, you know
safe,
what,
stay in their lane type of thing.
yeah, that worked once, and that's my style.
Right.
And then you get
your Michael
directors
Bay's.
like, yeah, and you just get them ones like, you know what, we're gonna try something different today.
Yeah,
and
the
that's
envelope.
that's
And
a good director.
and
I
I
think.
can
And it may
appreciate
not
that.
work, and it might not, but at least you
Right.
gave your vision to the public, hit or miss.
Right.
That's the thing. And I don't like these ones where they, you know, the Ryan Johnsons of like, well, but you're going to piss people off. No, that's not art. That's
you're
not
gonna think you're way
directing.
more clever than you are.
Yeah, just like if you try to be a bit arty, a bit different with how you shot it, that's different. That's directing.
Right.
You know, that's what Kubrick, you know, did. And some of it, I just go, well, that's a bit off. You know, but like, yeah, but.
Well, but that's one of the
Sometimes he
reasons I'm
influenced
happy a lot more of his movies are on our list, because it will, I don't want to say force me as if it's a bad thing, but it will force me to kind of get past my, I would say, even ridiculous kind of judgment I've made against, you know, not even against, it's just been like a slight aversion. It's like sometimes I'll scroll past and be like, you know what, I should give this one a try. And I just don't, because I'm like, I'd rather watch this. So it's like, it's not a total, like, I don't like his work, I don't want to watch it. It's just, I've got this weird kind of taste in my mouth about the fandom behind all his work. Just that I feel like it can be a bit pretentious. So it's good for me to put that aside and actually watch these films, because this is one I wouldn't have watched if it wasn't for Film Club. And, you know, I did enjoy it. So, you know, that's the whole reason we do it.
Very, very, very good. So before we go on to the wheel, because we've been away, so we're going to have to remind everybody that Jay, you got your animation pick.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
And we have from one masterpiece to another, from a Kubrick to A Bug's Life.
I love that. I'm excited.
You couldn't pick two different ones, like different.
You really couldn't.
That one like that is great. It's like, so yeah, we do like to mix it up like that. So shall we try and mix it up once again?
Yeah, let's see what we got.
I'm excited.
And we've missed this for a week.
We have.
So yeah, let's get this things. Any hopes?
I feel like no hopes, but every time I look at this first list here, there's always one I pick off it where I'm like, oh, that would be good. So I'm going to say The Pianist, because what a better change in tone. Well, I shouldn't say better, but with our drastic change in tones of movies we usually go for, I think The Pianist following A Bug's Life would be right on par.
There you go. Sandy, anything?
I'll say it again. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, just because if the wheel doesn't bring it up,
one day it'll
I'm
happen.
have to watch it again because I haven't watched it in about 2 years.
Sorry, Jay, you did say you didn't like a movie, so I can't remember what that was. Oh no, 2000 wasn't it? So.
Oh yeah, and that's on the list.
That's
again
coming up.
Bad.
Okay, we're gonna do 5 shuffles, and then we go 5. All right, 1. Ooh, nice. 2, 3, 4, 5. Like a, that's quite a good lot there. All right, there we go. 5.
Hit that button.
3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Ooh. I like this bit because you're trying to look what it could be.
I see a lot of my
there's no chance. I can't see a thing.
Oh, it's a red one. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Fugitive.
Yeah.
That's a good easy. I mean, not easy, but that's
this reminds me of
that's
like
a fun one.
TNT Saturday mornings back in the day. TBS, TNT. This was one that was always on.
So we get Tommy Lee Jones again.
Yep.
We get Harrison Ford again.
Oh, this would be good.
Who's the baddie?
Not mine.
Was this your Sandy? Oh, look.
Could have been. I don't know. Let's look.
Let's have a look.
Let me see.
Who's going to be at it first?
You probably. I'm slow.
There you go. Is it The Fugitive or Fugitive? The Fugitive.
I believe it's The Fugitive.
It was. Oh, nobody knew.
No one. No one owned up to it.
We don't know who put it on, but somebody did.
It could have been me. It could have been.
I know it wasn't me, so that's one down.
It could have been me. Who is the bad guy in the why am I not thinking?
Well, the guy with the one arm.
Yeah.
Or the one, yeah.
No, the doctor, the bad the
Oh, yeah.
baddie.
He's kind of in the baddie of everything, isn't he?
Is it Powers Booth? No.
No, I can't remember.
So for Dr. Charles Nichols, I cannot
late.
pronounce this guy's name.
Now I know Jade likes this movie, so we were definitely watching this together. So
Yeah, I like it.
it's
Tommy Lee Jones. Who am I thinking of? No, it's not him.
Not that guy. Okay, I can't think of.
Okay, I'll have to go back through because now all these pictures on IMDb are old pictures when they're old.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, and look, Joe Pantoliano is there. That'll be number 3 for him because he's in The Matrix. He was in Goonies. There we go, Goonies again.
Oh yeah, he is. He's the other.
Wow. He's with the bad family.
Yeah.
He's not the singer, but the other guy with the bad family. So he gets to our list of 3 with Josh Brolin and Al Pacino. Who would have thought it would be Joe Pantoliano?
And this puts Harrison at number 2 for us, right? Because we haven't done an indie movie yet, right?
No, we haven't. We've had Star Wars. We haven't had an Indiana Jones. And then for Tommy Lee Jones was No Country for Old Men. And it will be Men in Black someday because I'm pretty sure I put that if I did.
Yeah, it was either one of us because I definitely had it on my list and I might have seen you had it on there and didn't bother. That one's definitely on there for me.
Love.
There we go. The future. I can't remember the last time I watched. It's one of those ones you watch when it comes on. I like it.
Yeah, this was like a Saturday, Sunday morning TNT TBS action flick special. It was on all the time. I'm trying to remember if I've ever sat down and watched it honestly in one sitting, or if it's just been pick up piece by piece over the years.
No, I never watched.
So it'd be good to sit down with it.
Any of you watch the TV one?
No, never did much for me.
My mom did. My mom raved about the series. She liked the series. I just there's so many good lines. You think about the film like The Fugitive. There's so many good lines. There's when he's standing at the precipice of that water, whatever you call it, a culvert or whatever, and he's shouting to Tommy Lee Jones, "I didn't kill my wife," and Tommy Lee Jones says, "I don't care." He's just like, "I need to haul you in. I don't care. Just come with me, dude. Don't do it." And then he jumps over the water. But I just love that. He plays it. Typical Tommy Lee Jones, just so not quite deadpan, but
pretty damn close. He's a very stoic actor and it just works. It's one of those ones where it's like you could make any joke you make about a Brie Larson not emoting enough or not showing enough, facial expressions, whatever it is in her acting. You could make all those jokes about his acting, but it works for him in some weird way because I guess maybe more so because they designed the roles to kind of fit him a little bit to a degree, or he at least can morph them to fit him. But even just in his stoicism, there's more acting behind it than your average actor who, just doesn't really do a good job with that kind of stuff. I'm a huge Tommy Lee Jones fan. I find him to be brilliant.
And I think we talked about it with No Country was that, when he's out, tracking this killer, he is his typical, unemotional self. But those scenes when he's talking to his wife, because that's the only person he could talk to about how things have changed and I don't want to be an old you can't be an old man in this job and what's my next phase in life, and those are so good for someone who's not playing up the emotion. That was such a great role.
And and for me I think because he just plays such a strong stoic character in that movie and also just all the time, but generally speaks, so it kind of carries over from the persona of him. But even in just that movie, when faced with all these awful things happening, he's just still this stoic, kind of rock you can lean on in terms of not panicking, not overreacting that. So you get those little glimpses of vulnerability. And it's not, true pouring out emotional vulnerability. It's just that vulnerability of questioning, why am I doing this? Why am I going on type of thing. It sets up the whole movie. That whole world changing around him, a world he doesn't recognize, and even a crime world he doesn't recognize anymore. So those little bits of vulnerability it just makes all his acting come together. Like
Are
I
you
said,
talking about him as Harvey Dent?
oh,
No,
well,
no
I was gonna say it's funny you mentioned that because I was gonna say the one time
And
we
then
did
there
see him
was-
emote and
yeah.
get
And then
super super animated, we probably don't ever want to see it again. So fair enough.
yeah, and that was his idea, and that's what's
Yeah.
even bad. It's like,
Apparently,
oh,
he thought he
no.
was playing Joker. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but yeah.
Yeah, it's that's
So yeah, back to
unbelievable.
after that, it was back to stoic Tommy, and we've been happy ever
Yeah.
since.
No, but great. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's a good one. So we got very weird
Yeah,
movies,
two
haven't we, coming
good
up with
ones
them?
in a row there.
Yeah. So Bug's Life and The Fugitive. You couldn't get any
What a-
different.
yeah.
Doctor Strangelove, Bug's Life, The Fugitive. So we have one link, and we got one link for the whole lot. I know it must. I don't know who's the main voice as in the Bug's Life.
That is a fantastic
Um,
question.
I think we had this exact
when
same
we looked it up,
conversation
I
2 days
didn't
ago.
recognize him.
Did we?
2 weeks ago,
see
we had
here.
this exact same conversation, guys.
Is it?
This
Oh, yeah.
exact-
Yes, because I
same.
know we were
And we've
surprised to
forgotten.
see Kevin Spacey was Hopper because I did not know he was Hopper in this movie. But Dave Foley, who is not
Okay.
somebody I recognize.
Dave Foley from, I think, News Radio was his big. He's kind of a stand-up comedian, but he was the main character in that show News
Oh,
Radio
Yeah.
with Joe
I'm
Rogan.
trying to think if there
Yes.
is any.
Okay, I recognize this
Kind
And
guy.
there's
maybe
David Hyde
might be.
Pierce.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there is a different. Yeah, there is something. There is a cross over, but I don't think there's going to be. We'll be stretching to find
No,
out.
not
There's a link.
really.
There's a link between Doctor Strangelove, The Bug's Life, and The Fugitive.
We may get one eventually. You never know.
Never know. Never know. But yeah, I must say it's been good to be back on Film Club. It's been good. So yeah,
Yes, yes.
it has been. So we got a nice little animated. So it's like, and I'm going to try, if I can, to get a review from my kid.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Perfect.
Give his take. I'm like, there'd be some like incoherent bits, but I'm like, yeah, I could probably give me the.
Oh, we
it'd be
need
quite
that
good
for
to see
sure.
A 4-year-old's take
He's
on.
the target audience, so we
That is it,
definitely
yeah.
need his take.
And Jay.
Yeah.
And Jay.
I actually am like really looking forward to this one because I loved this movie as a kid and I haven't watched it probably since. And just even looking at the screenshots here on
I am a beautiful
IMDb,
butterfly.
yeah, like I'm just remembering those little things, the caterpillar, the goofiness, all of it. And the animation still looks great just from these screenshots here. So I am.
Is it Pixar, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a Pixar. They always age well. They've got great animation team there. So, but the Ladybug guy, it's the whole thing is just. I actually can't wait to watch this one. It'll be a lot of fun.
There we go. So, yeah, it's a little bit of. We got a little bit of fun again. Oh, it's a kind of a chase, isn't it? Like that, and then we've got a full chase with The Fugitive. So that's good. That's going to be a lot of bit of fun as well. So yeah, thank you all for who and all popped in. New faces and the old faces. What are the old faces? The old chat names I see like that. Very much. Thank you for the little delay to let me have a little bit of time off, a little bit of holiday. So it's like that. But for myself, I'm going to try and again, I want to do some gaming and stuff other like that. I did 2 streams on Friday. One was
You
a
did
disaster.
some of those creepy films, creepy games, didn't you?
Well, I did one and it had a bug and I did 40 odd minutes trying to work out the controls and then somebody was trying to help. And then they were like, I was like, it's not working. It's just not working. So I think it was a bug. So I got a refund off that. So that was terrible. And yeah, it didn't go well first stream back. And then I did another. It was kind of interesting. It wasn't a horror. It was like suspense horror, a bit creepy about aliens and stuff. But it was like an alternative dimension. But it was more, this game is interesting. It had a good little plot story around it. So, but apart from that, I will be playing another one. But also got to go back to the front. So hopefully, yeah, I nothing's broken, Sandy. I seen, so that's good.
You should have seen like a lot of resources that I was gathering in your absence. So I hope you saw all the furnaces were full, all the cabinets were full. I didn't break anything.
But Jay, I see you did. I haven't watched it yet. Was it Batman or something?
Yes. So I have been trying to come up with some different ideas for some more, as they say, evergreen content.
Yay.
Stuff that's not as too tied to the current movie release, things like that. Obviously, I'll still continue to do that, but just wanted to mix it up, try to come up with some new things. So one of the first ones, since I had a bunch of footage of me already playing Batman on streams, I decided to do a ranking of top 5 boss fights in the Arkham series. So that's out now. You can give that a look. I'm working on some shorts, things like that, and just gonna kind of continue to keep coming up with some evergreen things, because I do like that kind of that kind of content. And I found myself watching a lot of it lately. I've kind of gotten away from some of the stuff I've been watching and have moved on to people doing some really, really interesting just video game documentaries and deep dives and retrospectives and all that. So I'd like to see what I can glean from, some of the great stuff that I've been watching, and kind of channel into my own channel here, no pun intended. So keep an eye out. Some hopefully different creative ideas and videos coming your way.
Nice.
Cool. And the real YouTuber, Sandy?
Yeah, I've been hitting small towns, little main streets, playing Main Street Bingo. Might go out tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain, and it's probably a sign that I should just stay put for a day or two, because I've been out a lot. So yeah, if you're interested in architecture or main streets, or just, hanging out and looking at beautiful places and things, that's what I do. I generally don't advertise too far ahead of time, because it's all weather dependent. 2 nights ago, I was driving home from work, saw the hurricane clouds, wasn't going to do anything, and all of a sudden the sky opened up. It was beautiful blue sky, and I hopped out of the car and did a live stream. So you never know. But I appreciate everyone's support.
Excellent. Cool. So links are in below in the description. So go and give them a sub. Go on. You want it. Anyway, everybody, thank you again for holding on for Dr. Strangelove. But yes, we're back to the normal unless something happens. But next Saturday, I think, is all good, unless these guys tell me otherwise. But yeah, everybody in the UK got bank holiday, so having long weekend. Have a
we do
great
too.
one.
Yay!
Oh, do you?
We have a
What's your
holiday.
bank holiday? I don't
It's Labor Day.
Yeah, that's next weekend, right? Next Monday. Yep.
Next Monday, we have a day off. Yay!
Okay, there we go. Excited. I don't even know what this one is. I don't. Yeah, just like sometimes you're like, why was this bank holiday there?
Yeah, sometimes they don't really matter. It just matters that you don't have to work. So
like,
fair enough.
Day off. Yes, that's it. But everybody, have a great one. The rest of the evening, and remember, we got a little bug's life. Don't let the bugs bite you. Was it the bugs bite? Oh, yeah, that's it. The bugs.
Close enough.
The bed bugs bite. There we go.
It was close enough. You were on it.
I was close. Everybody, have a great one, and we'll see you in the next film club or in one of these guys' streams. For now, bye.